Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So just a quick message before we get into tonight's reading. Personal readings are now open for the month of May. So if you feel called to receive a personal reading from me, you can find all of that information in the description box below, as well as information on how to join us over on Patreon, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have here is, you wouldn't understand. And there's a very heavy energy coming through with this card here. Divine Feminine, there's a masculine in your energy field that has already put you in a box. And you may not be aware of this because I'm getting that they may not even be aware of this. I'm clearly picking up on something here that has to do with the subconscious mind. So this is picking up on a very raw and real aspect of your person's thought process that will tell you exactly how they feel about you without cutting any corners. And I say that because the subconscious mind tends to be extremely honest, sometimes even brutally honest, because it picks up on the things that we do as people without even realizing why. So when it comes to how this masculine treats you or how they show up in this connection, it's somehow heavily tied to where they have you placed in their lives. And with this energy here, you wouldn't understand. It's very clear that they have you in a very specific category for a very specific reason. It's almost as if this is tapping into this masculine's ability to compartmentalize every person, place, or thing in their lives. But when it comes to relationships, this energy is very different because it manifests as how much of themselves they're willing to give or even show in a connection. What's also interesting is that this doesn't even have to be directly connected to you, Divine Feminine. But because you are the person in their lives, this energy is definitely affecting you. So whether you know it or not, this masculine is currently feeling heavily misunderstood by you, even if you've never given them a reason to, okay? I'm also getting censored very clearly. So this is manifesting in your connection as this person heavily censoring themselves with you, especially when it comes to their emotions. So when you ask them how they feel, they may tell you what you want to hear or what they think you want to hear instead of how they really feel at that moment. It's almost as if this is some kind of learned behavior and not something that they really want to do or something that they can even control. It's literally an aspect of their being that's deeply embedded in them in some way. So while this is not totally unique to you or your connection, there could be something that transpired in the recent past that really has heightened your person's level of thinking in this way. Because when we're dealing with the energy of the subconscious mind, this is all about programming. So it's this energy of repetition that keeps a certain way of life active. And I'm getting clearly that there's something about this connection with you that's either triggering this masculine into behaving this way, or it's bringing it to the surface. And what's sticking out here is that your person is completely unaware that they're doing this. For some of you, you may have suspicions about the way that your person treats you, or just when it comes to how far they're willing to go as it pertains to emotional expression. For others of you, you have no idea that this masculine has you sitting in this category. And you may wonder if this will ever change or if they even have intentions of changing this. This is also about the energy of projection, because even though this may be unconscious, it's causing this masculine to project heavily onto you based upon their own programming. And this may be a major blockage to the progression of your connection. Because even though this person may have no reason to feel this way about you, they definitely are assuming that you either don't understand them, or you wouldn't understand them, or you don't have the capacity to understand them, okay? This masculine is at a current stage of this connection where they really feel misunderstood, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have here is, you're not perfect. Wow. So just tapping into your person's energy, the way that the first card came out, it really felt like this energy either had everything to do with you or nothing at all. But with this card here, I'm getting that this is exactly how your person is viewing you. And this could be really different from how they viewed you in the past, okay? There's something about the energy that has to do with the trajectory of your connection. So when you initially align with this masculine, they may have viewed you as someone who was extremely open, but now they are very triggered by you for some reason, because all of a sudden they feel this need to censor themselves with you. But I'm getting that that wasn't always the case. So whatever it is that you're doing right now, Divine Feminine, is directly affecting their psyche in a major way, because this is definitely a very focused type of energy, or maybe even an isolated situation that occurred in the recent past. And it was at that moment that your person began to assume a more performative role with you, Divine Feminine. So all of this is unfolding as a result to how you respond to this masculine. But because this is an underlying energy, this could be happening in moments where you least expect it. In conversation, in brief exchanges, or just in your presence, okay? There could have been many times in the recent past where your masculine felt very open and honest and able to express themselves to you in a very raw, real way. But I'm getting that there's been a shift, specifically a shift in how you respond to them. And it could be shocking them a little bit. So now they don't want to go as deep in conversation with you, or they may be a little apprehensive about sharing personal information with you. And it's because of the way that your energy is coming off, okay? Because anytime this card comes through, it's because your person is making a direct judgment about you or the way that they're perceiving you, okay? So they may feel like you're judging them, or that you're making assumptions about them based upon the way that they express themselves, meaning what it is that they share with you, maybe even the topics that they're really interested in, okay? Honestly, this is a really weird energy coming through here. And this masculine could be someone who is a little guarded, meaning that they don't really let a lot of people in very often. But I'm getting clearly that they did let you in, and things were going very smooth at one point. But there's been a shift because they went from viewing you as someone that they could be open and honest with to someone that they need to censor themselves with, okay? And with this card here, it's almost as if they're a little defensive as well. Like they want to let you know that they feel judged by you in some way, while also letting you know that they have been holding you to some type of unrealistic standard. So I don't know what kind of life you lead, Divine Feminine, but your person has some very strong opinions about you at this time. And they came into this connection kind of pedestalizing you in some way. And now they have a feeling that they shouldn't have done this. And because they've been trying to hold all of this in by not expressing this to you verbally, their actions may be telling you that something is off or that something is changing, but you may not know why. But I'm getting that if you were to ask them, they would probably tell you that there's something coming off in your energy or something you did or said that they feel is in opposition to them as a person or to their views in some kind of way, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is this feeling won't go away. This is a masculine that operates in cycles, okay? Because I'm getting a really heavy cyclical energy coming through for them. And what's weird about this masculine is that even though they're holding back from you subconsciously, something in them is still actively seeking you out. So you may notice that something is a little off in their disposition when you speak to them or when you're around them. It's like you can feel that there's something that they want to say to you, but they won't let themselves go there with you. They may also be bringing things up in conversation just to see where your head is, because this energy does feel a little bit testy. It's almost like they want to know what you'll say because they feel like your feelings are slowly changing for them in some way. But they are projecting on you so much at this time, Divine Feminine, and this doesn't even feel subtle. Maybe they're not noticing what they're doing, but this is heavy, okay? And the way this energy is coming through, if you're someone who does have the gift of reading energy, you may definitely be sensing that something about their aura is a little bit off, but you may not know why. And because this masculine's energy is extremely guarded, they may have unconsciously brought a lot of heavy energy into this connection with you. There could have been something that took place in their past, because the way the energy is coming through with this card here, it just feels like this person is really, really indifferent. Almost as if this masculine goes into situations or connections already assuming how they will act, how you will act, or even how they will respond to you. And honestly, it feels like this is the type of person who decided at some point in their lives that they were going to stop giving 100%. And the way this energy is coming through, they probably have a really good reason for doing this. But this is highlighting a masculine who's clearly calling in love, but because of this unconscious block in their subconscious programming, they are literally pushing away the very thing that they truly desire. So this may show up as them either talking themselves out of their own happiness or even physically doing things to repel your energy. And all of this is unconscious. So if you were to look at this through a spiritual lens, your person has been programmed subconsciously by a person, a place, or a thing in their past. And although they don't align with this reality, they're actually manifesting similar experiences by repeating this to themselves, okay? So it's not really that they don't trust anyone. It's just your person has been put in so many situations where they don't know how to stop not trusting people, even when they don't have a reason to. And unfortunately, it feels like this masculine has somehow managed to put your connection in that same box, even though you have not given them a reason to, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have here is, you exposed my dark side. Yeah. Divine Feminine, if you truly knew the things that your masculine is burying, it would shock you, okay? And if you're resonating with this message so far, there are absolutely two versions of your person. And I feel like this reading is introducing you to the other side of your person. And this is referring to who they think they are and who they actually are, okay? It's very easy for your person to go into connection asking for things and setting intentions based upon their wants. But it's only when you get into their psyche that you understand that there is another version of them. The version of them that is attracted to certain things, certain levels of energy, certain feminine energy, okay? And no matter how much they try to convince themselves of what they want, their subconscious mind will continuously seek out what it is that they need. And all of this depends on their own programming or the way that they were taught to view love and feminine energy. And all of this also took place way before they came in contact with you, Divine Feminine. But you, because you are the object of their desire, you're feeling the effects of this. Whether this be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, this is definitely affecting you. So I feel like this card here is highlighting the fact that we all have an energy signature that we seek out in love. Okay, this could be high vibrational, this could be low vibrational, or it could be a mix of both. But what's sticking out here is that this is not something that we lead with. It's something that gets exposed over time by way of our patterns and how we respond to the people that we choose to love. This is also about your light, Divine Feminine, and the effects that it has on your person. And this may be very different from the way that your light affects other people in your life. Because when dealing with romantic connections, it highlights parts of this masculine that no one else can see. And they are unable to mask this side of themselves. So they may actually feel like they're wearing this on full display for you to see. But the truth is that there's a dark side to every person. There are two sides to every single person on this planet. But the difference here is when you speak to them, Divine Feminine, you're speaking to both aspects of their being. So while other people may have a very cut and dry exchange or experience with this masculine, you don't really have that luxury. You see all of it. And even if they never tell you this, they know you see it all. So going back to those interactions that you have, this is why they're still drawn to you. No matter how triggering or how raw your responses or your conversation may be, because there is a rawness and a realness to it. For some of you, you are very direct and vocal about everything. For others of you, you may be on the more subtle side when it comes to your communication. But your energy and your body language is very telling in those moments with your person. It's almost as if every single time your masculine is in your presence, your energy is saying, I see you. You know, I see you very, very clearly. And your person could be trying to figure out how you can actually pick up on some of the things that they really don't want to lead with. But with this type of dynamic, they were already leading with this, okay? This is about attracting a certain type of energy signature, which is extremely important for the Divine Masculine. So while they may think that they align with you based on your similarities or things that you discussed, or just because they really sought out a connection with you, you align with them because deep down, this masculine has a desire to be seen for all that they are. But there's also a twist to this, and I feel like this is really picking up on not only that underlying energy of fear, but also the push and pull dynamic in this connection where your person kind of runs to you to be seen, and then they kind of pull away because of what it is that you do see, okay? So this could definitely be picking up on some type of heaviness from their past, or this could be simply a part of themselves that they have accepted and integrated. But it's almost as if they're at this place where they want to know if you can handle all of them. And also if you're able to do this without judgment. So that's where that energy from the card, You're Not Perfect, is coming from. It's almost as if this masculine came into this connection really sitting you high up on a pedestal. So I don't know how it is that you present, what it is that you do, what type of knowledge that you have, what type of life experience that you have, but the way that you presented yourself, Divine Feminine, really caused this masculine to sit you high up on this pedestal. And it feels like the more that they begin to peel back the layers of who they truly were, the more they begin to project onto you, you know? I also want to point out with this card here that dark doesn't mean bad, okay? It's simply something hidden or something that they may deem to not be socially acceptable. But it's definitely the underlying energy of every single human being walking this planet. And the more this energy is suppressed, the louder it becomes and the more actualized it becomes as well. So this whole process of them bringing things up either in confidence or in casual conversation is to get a closer look at your heart space, Divine Feminine, and to also see the lens that you are currently viewing life and love and them. And just being close to you does this to them. It's actually one of the main purposes or your main purpose in this connection, Divine Feminine, it's really for you to see your person clearly, all of them, and to love them anyway. And in this way, it really helps you to be able to love yourself, because your masculine is definitely a reflection of who you are. You may even have some things in common as it pertains to things that transpired in your past, or just a correlation between the type of energy signatures that you call into your auric field. Okay, let's get the next message here. So the next message that we have here is heart chakra. This is a very, very interesting type of dynamic here, okay? And I just got very clearly, someone got to this masculine way before they got to you, Divine Feminine, okay? I'm also getting with this energy here that this masculine loves you deeply, Divine Feminine, or they're at this place where they're falling in love with you. But this road to loving you is very different from what they're used to. This is someone who fell in love with you due to your level of curiosity. And the easiest way to get a person to let their guard down is by approaching them with curiosity. And this is what you did. But it began to rub your person the wrong way because they were not used to your level of openness, which can be really, really terrifying for someone who has a blocked heart chakra. And your masculine is at this place where they're experiencing a deep opening of their heart space, which has them feeling very vulnerable at this time. So even though this masculine doesn't even really have a reason to test you, to play silly games, to bring certain things up, to see where your head is, or to even question your character at all, this is really a masculine who feels that no one is exempt, okay? They really don't trust people easily. So they may do things that seem really unnecessary to the average person, but to them it's much deeper than you think. And this masculine wasn't always this way, okay? No one is. So there's a reason that they decided to close their heart space, and this most likely had nothing to do with you. But the fact that this card is coming out to describe your connection is a huge indication that you were placed on their path specifically to get a rise out of them. You were sent by God to make them feel again after navigating life in a very, very numb state. And the range of emotions that you have this masculine going through is unbelievable, okay? It's to the point where this masculine may even be questioning if they've ever been in love before, because there's a vast difference in the type of emotion that you evoke and this connection brings out of them compared to their previous experiences, okay? Yeah, this is definitely someone who was going into connections blocked at the heart space completely. So even if they wanted to go deep and establish a bond, they couldn't. And it's because of their subconscious programming. This is not personal at all. So this process that you're currently in, this stage that you're currently in with your person, is very triggering for them because you were sent to challenge their programming, Divine Feminine. You may even be the first person to question them. And I'm getting specifically why. You may be the first person that asks them why. So when they share their thoughts, when they speak about past experiences, you challenge them intellectually and you make them think about why they feel the way that they feel. And I'm getting very clearly that they are not used to that at all, okay? Your approach, the way that you engage this masculine with genuine curiosity, really questions and challenges their thought process. So much so that when you're doing this, or when they're speaking to you, or when you respond to them, they may have even assumed that you were judging them in some kind of way. But you were literally trying to understand them and how they think and how they move as a masculine energy and as a soul in this world. And this process of questioning them has actually revealed things about themselves that they have never been asked or challenged on in their lives, okay? There's something very powerful about the energy of curiosity especially as it pertains to relationships, because it's a very subtle way to unpack the mind. So I don't know what kind of power you have, Divine Feminine, but you have definitely switched the energy of this masculine. This is someone who came into this connection maybe not wanting to go as deep, okay? But you have been activating their heart space. So whatever plans that they had for you initially has definitely changed in a major way. But the best part about this is that this unfolded very naturally. And it happened this way because this is really highlighting that this is your true role in their lives. You are someone who aligns with them to challenge them. And you only challenge them because you're really aligned to bring out the very best version of this masculine. But the process may not always be pretty, okay? Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have here is, I know the truth about us. And Divine Feminine, I'm picking up on your energy with this last card here. And this is picking up on your reason why. Because the way that this energy came into fruition, there was something that you saw in this masculine very early on. You saw behind the mask. You saw the truth about them. You saw the real them that everyone else doesn't really get to see. And maybe you don't even have a logical reason why you feel this way, but you know what you felt early on. And this is why you approached this connection in the way that you did. I'm also getting that a lot of the things that transpired may not even make sense to you as far as putting things in chronological order or even looking at this connection in a linear fashion. But it's almost as if you've been guided to do things or say things in this connection that you never have before. All of this was divinely orchestrated, if you could describe it in your own words. And it's because deep down, you knew the truth about them. So in this way, you both were put in a position to challenge one another or even to probe one another in a way that you wouldn't have done with anyone else. And there was a higher purpose for it. This is also highlighting how powerful a heart chakra connection is, because it manifests as the both of you feeling very deep emotions about one another from the very beginning, without being able to make sense of what it is that you're feeling and why. But the more that you allow yourself to really drop down into your heart space and go with the flow, the more that's revealed to you about your connection and about your person. And the only way to do this is by way of genuine curiosity. So Divine Feminine, you may not even be aware of just how powerful your light is, but you definitely illuminated an aspect of your person's subconscious mind or their programming that could be holding on to some very dark or painful moments from their past. And they've been unconsciously carrying this stuff with them for a long time. And it's affecting how they show up in this connection. And the reason they feel so drawn to you, Divine Feminine, is because the more that they engage you, the more the real version of them comes to the surface. This is why they keep seeking your energy, because they're ready for something to change. And they may feel the most changed or the most different when they are in your company. So if you are in contact with this masculine, definitely continue doing what you're doing. Continue to challenge them in your own way. It's not only a very attractive quality to have as a feminine energy, but it's something that they really cannot get enough of because it's essential for them. You may be the only person who's able to get this close to your masculine. And what you do with that level of influence is very powerful. It's also very telling of who you are on a soul level, Divine Feminine. If you are currently at a distance from your person, they may need you to hold space for them while a lot of these changes take place. They may also be very sensitive to your opinion at this time, even if you've never given them a reason to be. But your masculine is definitely going through a very intense process right now as it pertains to integration, as it pertains to them coming into the realization of who they really are, not only their light energy, but also their dark energy. And this is a process that you play a very, very huge role in, Divine Feminine, even if you don't realize it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on the way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are a member on Patreon, I will be pulling 3 more cards just to go a little bit deeper into this energy to see what else your person is feeling and what else you need to know about this process that they're going through. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.